Hello, everyone, and welcome to the P1 Broadcasting Network. It's Murph. It's The Wreck. And we are here for Season 3. And who would have thought we would have been invited back, not once but twice, Ryan, to the Horizon IndyCar Series. It's good to see you, brother.
Yeah, glad to be here, and always glad to start off the season on a super speedway.
It doesn't get much better than this. If you're a fan of open wheel racing, this is kind of a reminder of what we once had and what we all miss, Ryan.
Yeah, it's been, 15 plus years at this point that there's been an IndyCar race in Michigan?
You know, it most certainly has been. I'll tell you this, you're going to think that I'm a heretic, but for my money, not Indianapolis, Michigan is the ultimate track for these cars. It is wide, it is fast, it is smooth. You can put these cars 4, sometimes 5 cars wide around this facility. It is the racing here is knock down, drag out, skin of your teeth. The elbows are going to come out, Ryan. We're going to see guys banging wheels. All the while, they're going to be turning laps here, you know, in the neighborhood of 225 miles an hour. We're going to see drafting speeds up near 240, depending on how this car is trimmed out.
Yeah, because the top guys are going to be going, you know, covering this 2-mile track in 30 seconds, which is just absurd on the face of it.
It most certainly is absurd on the face of it. But what's not absurd is how awesome it is to be here with you, the man, the myth, the legend, Ryan Eric King, circling among just kind of a preview of drivers, and we'll go ahead and get the scoring pylon up there so that you can so that the fans at home can see who's going fast. Andrew Surwack right now. We got a new name. Surwack, you know. Brandon Statton, that's a new name, but we've got community stalwarts like Hunter Ingrave, Chris Albrecht, Kyle Clinworth, Matty Wagner is here, Ryan O'Donohue. Now that's a name that you're going to see a lot on Thursday and Friday. Ryan O'Donohue finished second in both the AMA Grand National Series and the Truck Series last year. That's a man that can wheel a stock car, and we're going to see him run Indy cars here, Ryan. That's going to be a ton of fun. Community favorite Yari Brubaker is in the house. We've got Gary Lovern from the Motive Racing League stable. Craig Forsyth is back to show us just how fast an old man can run. And then you've got new guys like Micah Mixer, Mason Mitchum, who are ready to do battle with veterans like Hugo Gallas. So I'm kind of pumped and excited to see this, Ryan. We've got 2 minutes, and while we do those 2 minutes, let's have a look at Ryan O'Donohue. We're going to jump on board with him real quick. We'll get the telemetry up, and we'll show everybody just what this looks like, Ryan. You see him hold it 220 miles an hour down through the corners. He's going to accelerate up close to 222, 223. He's going to hit at the end of the backstretch. 221 was the trap. And then the question is, Ryan, do you hit the apron or do you stay straight? Ryan O'Donohue is going to stay above the white line. His first lap is in 32.790. Not good enough to be on the board, and I don't think he is going to take a lap number 2. So he's done, Ryan.
Yeah, for me, when you end a run here, you have to run the apron. It's the shortest way to the start-finish line. Yes, there's less grip down there, but if you could hold on to it, you could save, a decent chunk, maybe a 10.
You know, you can, Ryan, but here's the other thing with that. There is a bump in that transition, and if you're not careful, you can absolutely turn your car loose trying to get down to that apron, and what would have become a 0.5 tenth to a 1/10 of a second gain can very easily wind up at backwards in the turn 1 fence. You need to be really careful about when you get down there, how you set your weight jacker, how you have your tools done. Right now, Mason Mitchum has found the tools. He is currently the fastest on the track at 221.321. And Ryan, I think we're ready for a grid, aren't we?
And it's going to be an exciting one.
It most certainly is. On the pole, Mason Mitchum, Votive Racing League entry 221.465 miles an hour to his outside. William Holman in the 84. He is going to roll from second. The veteran, the grizzled veteran, Craig Forsyth, he's going to go from third. He'll be flanked by Matt Wagner. There's a couple of guys that have done more than a few laps at Michigan on row 2. Row 3, it's Gary Lovren and Kyle Clinworth. Row 4, Chris Albrecht, Andrew Surowak, Yari Brubaker, and Hunter Ingraf. They're going to round out the top 10. In 11th, it's Micah Mixer, then Jeff Heisong, Lith Fox. 12th and 13th, 14th, Nate Fields. Ryan O'Donohue, you watched his qualifying run. He'll roll from 15th. Brandon Statton, Brian Greenlee, Brandon Domingue, and VH Carr are the final cars that took time. Hugo Gallas and Joseph Morales, well, brother, they didn't take time at all. They're going to start 20th and 21st. And that is your 21-car grid. Do want to let everybody know it is full fuel tonight for this 125-lap event. So fuel window is going to be anywhere between 38 and 43 laps. Unlimited tires, don't have to worry about that. And the drivers will get one fast repair, Ryan.
Well, you get to live twice. It'll be a long, long trip out there.
You do get to live twice, man. I'm ready for it. This music gets me pumped up. Do want to absolutely welcome in Anna the Deer and Orbiter 227. I am absolutely ready for some fantastic oval racing. Gosh, it feels so good to be back here at a big super speedway with these cars, Ryan, as we get ready to roll off on the grid. 250 miles await these drivers. What is more fun about this, and I appreciate everybody's patience, I'm going to try to reacquire the paints, Ryan. Trading paints has been, well, it's been interesting lately, hasn't it, brother?
Yeah, just today I had to start it up twice just to get it to load in everyone's paint schemes. And even then, I'm still not sure if it's right or not.
Yeah, we're going to try to reacquire. What triggered me was Mason Mitchum, and his familiar Votive Racing League machine was not pictured correctly, and so we're going to see if we can't reacquire him from Trading Paints. Of course, William Holman in the 84. That's a very brightly hued machine, and now we've got Mace in his correct car. A little bit further back. There's Gary Lover and Matty Wagner. Wags is just in the black and gold. There's Chris Albrecht. Now, that's a name in that number 11 that you're going to want to watch out for, Ryan. That man can straight wheel one of these cars, and you don't see him very much. You're going to see him tonight for 250 miles here at Michigan. Welcome into the man himself, Mike Rigney. Do want to thank him for being in the crowd. I'd love to see him on the track. Mike Rigney's a man that can drive one of these cars too. But away we go from the flag stand.
Green, green, green.
250 miles at Michigan, and Ryan Eric King, we're on.
Yeah, Mason got a big jump off the start there, but we always know how that tends to play out down the back straight.
You know, we most certainly do, and that's the thing. You get a big lead out here at this place, and that field is going to come right back to you like a rubber band. Speaking of coming back to you, we've already got side-by-side action deep in this field. We've got the camera on Kyle Clinworth because that's usually where the action is. A little bit ahead of him, Andrew Surowak has already gone to work on Matty Wagner. William Holman has likewise gone side by side with Mason Mitchum and give Holman the lead.
Yeah, let's see how long he can stay by himself out front. But slowly but surely, the rest of the field are making their way to the leader.
You know, they most certainly are. And here's the thing, right, Ryan, is when you watch one of these races, understand that if you are anywhere within 1.8 seconds, and that's the magic number, is 1.8 seconds to the car in front of you, you are in the draft. And so everybody in this field is in the draft other than Nate Fields. Nate Fields started this race from the pit lane, and so we'll see how that affects him as we go. Your early leader, William Holman, and he is swapped now by Matty Wagner, Surwack third, Brubaker and Mitchum round out your top five, and then you've got a little bit of a gap back to Mason Mitchum, Craig Forsyth, Kyle Clinworth, and you got to wonder if this group, Ryan, stacked back here, is just already in fuel save mode.
I was about to bring that up. Yeah, well, considering that we're running with 100% tanks today, fuel saving could come into play into just making the stint last and making sure that you can get the most out of the stints that you run today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if we're on full tanks, we're riding along with Craig Forsyth. Forsyth is the king of saving the fuel here, Ryan. Forsyth is currently fifth. He's got, he's well within that draft envelope. He's riding in the high side, but I'm going to tell you two things right now, Ryan, that tell me Craig Forsyth is not pushing that 40 racewear car as hard as it can go. The first is that Craig Forsyth, well, he is not changing out of sixth gear. And the other part is, if you get to the end of the straightaway down here, Ryan, you lift, or you can hear him audibly staying off the rev limiter. So he is not taking the car to max power. That tells me that he is not going to 100% throttle all the way through.
Yeah, and generally what I like to do is sort of get up to that lead group, get like close to where Craig is on track, and just stay in someone's slipstream and just try to keep yourself safe. That's the most important part.
Yeah, find a safe spot. Find a safe spot on the racetrack. Find a place where you can kind of just fit in and ride, save some fuel, and be there at the end. You do have a fast repair here. But I got to tell you what, Ryan, you don't want to use that before it gets time to show and tell. Yari Brubaker is now your leader. William Holman, Andrew Surwack, Matt Wagner, and Lith Fox has now moved in, and there's Lith in the fifth spot. Do want to shout out to all of his fans that are tuning it in. Do want to give a shout out to the Sim Gaming Expo King. That's Caleb Brashear. That's the man that beat Phil Krause and got himself a very expensive nightlight. It's awesome to see Caleb Brashear in the audience. If you haven't already done it out there, fans, make sure you smash the like button on the video, ring the bell, subscribe to the channel so that you too can enjoy all of what P1 Broadcasting has to offer. We also want to thank Taupes Hand Soap. How about that? We have a real sponsor for this thing, Ryan Eric King. Taupes Hand Soap. The Horizon Indy. We have to be nice for them. They're paying your salary. The Horizon IndyCar Series is brought to you by Taupe Soaps, a new and very unique sports collectible. A hand soap in the form of your favorite race car driver. Potter Award is the first Taupes soap and is now available on taupessoaps.com. You've got 6 different colors and fragrances now available to commemorate his first 6 IndyCar wins. Get an exclusive buy one, get one offer using the code Horizon at taupessoaps.com and start your collection today. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go get me some Paddle Award Taupes soaps, and I'm going to put it in the bathroom just so my wife has to stare at an IndyCar driver when she washes her hands, Ryan. I think that's a perfect idea. What do you say?
Sounds like a great idea. I know I'll be using a taupe soap anytime I think of a plenum fire. That's just immediately the first thing that comes to mind.
Caleb Brashear, of course, is pointing out that he won that nightlight at this very racetrack. I'd also like to point out that was in part due to the fact that he turned me into a lawn dart about 15 laps into that race. But we won't argue about that, will we, Ryan?
No, not at all.
I didn't fly quite as far down the Michigan backstretch as I did through the south end at Indianapolis in the Area 51 500 a few years back. but it was close. Yari Brubaker still leads from William Holman, Andrew Surwack, Mason Mitchum, and Micah Mixer has now moved into fifth. That Craig Forsyth guy, he's now kind of matriculated his way back to eighth. They've got Jeff Heisong in ninth. Kyle Clinworth is 10th. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to tell you what, I like this strategy from Craig and Clindy. They are not going to the front. They are saving fuel, and I might be the guy that can't put two and two together. I went to Ball State, Ryan Eric King. They'll give anybody a diploma. But something tells me if you play your cards right, you should be able to make this in 2 green flag stops.
Yeah, you should be able to make it. And when I say should, like almost the entire field, first to 20th is covered by 2.25 seconds. Like, everybody's still in this.
You know, they most certainly are, but here's the thing. If you're Yari Brubaker up here, William Holman, Andrew Surwack, and you've been fighting for this lead, buddy, you're not saving any fuel. Even if you're in map 5 leading this train, and Yari Brubaker, judging from the lap times, is not in map 5, by the way. But we got to tell you, look, if you're Yari Brubaker out there leading this thing, you're not going to make it, right? You're not going to make it. And well, we got trouble in the back. There's contact. Chris Albrecht, Brian Grid, they are still hooked together back there. They can't get apart, Ryan. Those two cars, I have not seen anything like that in a very long time. Those two cars are hooked together, and they cannot get them apart. They've got them to the grass. They're going to have to tow. Yellow light is out. That was a wild scene. Did you see that, Ryan?
Yeah, their front wheels were hooked, were interlocked. You don't see that nowadays.
No, you don't. It's a weird. That's an odd netcode thing to happen. Let's watch it. You've got the 38 car and the 70 are the two that are involved. The 38, that is Greenlee in the blue and white machine, and he just gets hooked up with the 11 of Chris Albrecht coming off of 2, and they cannot get those cars unstuck. They can't get them up. They can't get them unstuck. There you go. There you go. For the people at home. You can't get them unstuck, and they're absolutely hooked together. We're going to get one more view here from the roll bar of Brian Greenlee. Actually, let's get on Chris Albrecht. That's what it looks like. The left front of Albrecht is hooked between the broken right front suspension of Brian Greenlee and his side pod, and they cannot get those two cars apart. So that is the reason that we are under caution. Greenlee managed to get his machine back to pit lane, and there he is. Chris Albrecht required a tow, so we are under the yellow light, 16 laps in to a scheduled 125 here at Michigan in the Horizon IndyCar Series. Everybody's going to come to the pit lane led by Yari Brubaker. Now, here's something that we thought we'd see. Forsyth is staying out along with Jeff Heisong. Does that surprise you at all, Ryan?
No, that does not surprise me. Because, yeah, stopping now will guarantee you into a 2-stop strategy. Your next stop will be your last stop. But if you've been saving fuel up to this point, it's the same scenario. You're also going to have to stop. So you kind of have to weigh it. Do you want track position, or do you want the security of knowing you definitely only have one more stop?
You know, I don't think you're making it home in one more from here. What I will say is you still got 2 more stops, Ryan, but just maybe, instead of, just maybe you've done 2 things. The first is, if you're Yari and everybody else, you're able to now go full blast. If you are so you're going to be able to go full rich, and you're probably going to cut a little bit off of your stop at the end. For Craig, I don't think it matters. He's not the type that's going to want to run up front and be in that scrum anyway. So why not just stay out? Why not just stay out? You know what I mean? You still got to stop 2 more times anyway. He doesn't care about running at the front. He just wants to be there and in position at the end. And forget I said all that because he's going to come and pit now, along with Heisel.
Yeah, I guess get the a nice cozy stop in an empty pit lane.
Well, they're all coming
on paper.
Everybody else is coming back in too. Kyle Clintworth, Lith Fox, Hunter Ingrave, all of those cars are coming in as well. So they're going to top up here, Ryan.
I mean, it's a way to refuel and fall to the back, but I was not expecting this, like, the sheer number of people to elect to do this to be this large.
I did not either. So color the wreck and I surprised, which, to be fair, Ryan, it doesn't take much to surprise us. Yari Brubaker, William Holman, Micah Mixer are your top 3. Andrew Surwack, Mason Mitchum will round out your top 5. Matt Wagner, Brandon Staton, Gary Lovern, Brandon Dominguez, and Joseph Morales are going to round out your top 10. And that is a great run for Joseph Morales. We'll go ahead. I'm going to go give that man his due. That's a guy that has worked very hard. He ran really, really well in the Area 51 race last night. Finished in the top half. He's worked so hard on his racecraft. Give a shout out to Joseph Morales and how well he's been doing lately. But let's get back to the front of the field because we're about to see a lot more racing action here at Michigan. Yari Brubaker leads them down, and we're going to watch this one from the drone, Ryan.
Green, green, green.
Gives you a good sense of just kind of how this facility looks from that drone cam, doesn't it, Ryan?
Yeah, just it feels monumental.
By Indianapolis as they come back around. Here's what it looks like if you sit in the stands and watch here at Michigan. But for as fine a facility as Michigan used to be, and Michigan and Fontana under Penske ownership were always immaculately maintained. Maybe not so much now, but Indianapolis has become that, Ryan. I was down there the other day. I was down at the Speedway taking my kid to the museum a couple of weeks ago. It's the middle of December, and the grounds look like it's Augusta National down there. It's incredible.
Yeah, you gotta make the place look good because you don't know what day someone's first time there is going to be. That's the
Penske way, the Penske philosophy, and I'll tell you another philosophy of Mr. Penske is to give Mr. Murphy English lessons. Matt Wagner has gone to the front of this race. 21 laps of a scheduled 125. Yari Brubaker is second. They've got Micah Mixer, Andrew Surwack, and William Holman with them. Interesting to note that don't want to feel too bad for Clindy and Forsyth. They're back 12th and 13th. And I believe they've resumed same as they were before, Mr. Reck. I think they're just kind of riding along. Clindy seems to be more anxious to come to the front than Craig does. Craig's got Lith Fox under him, but I don't think Craig is in a hurry to get up in that fight.
No, it's a bit chaotic out front at the moment.
It most certainly is. We do want to thank everybody for joining in. This has been one of, if not the best attended Horizon IndyCar Series race in a good long while. If you're just now joining us, make sure you smash the like button on the video, ring the bell, subscribe to P1 so that you too can be notified of all future iRacing action just like this. Tomorrow night, tonight we've got companion streams. It's the Formula Indy Series, and they're going to have a round from Indianapolis this evening. They should be going live just about any time with Gary Godso and Steven Larkamp. Tomorrow, LGN is going to have not one, not two, but three races in the Elite Racing League Indy Lights Series. And then to top that off, we're going to be back dual races Monday night. We're going to be back dual races Monday night with the Indy Open top split and the Indy Next Road Series top split. Tuesday night triple headers, Ryan. Indy Oval top split, Indy Next Oval top split. Area 51 is the nightcap, and that race last night was a barn burner. Clindy beat them all on strategy, outthought them, and won the race despite doing his best Jason Brophy impression and crashing into the pit lane. And Jason, if you're out there listening, we love you, by the way. But he did, Ryan. I swear to you, Clindy lost it on the pit entrance at Homestead, and managed to spin, knocked the nose off the car, pulled it into the pit lane, pulled it into his box, came out, ran down Matty Wags, and won the race. How about that?
Impressive.
It was very impressive indeed. We're watching Jari Brubaker lead from Micah Mixer, Matty Wagner, Andrew Surwack. The battle seems to be, the Hornet's Nest seems to be back here. That is, if this ain't a mess, Ryan, it'll do till the mess gets here. That's that's Brandon Staton, Mason Mitchum, and William Holman on the front of that line. You've got Clindy and Joseph Morales. Clindy is the magenta and chrome machine that's sliding underneath the number 9 of Brandon Staton. They've got Mitchum and Morales behind them. Then Gary Lover, Nate Fields, Lithbox are all kind of in that fight. It's worth mentioning Hunter Ingrave, and there's Hunter in the number 77 car. That is a road racing entry, and he has kind of, he's not too anxious to get up in this mess. Neither is Craig Forsyth. We've got trouble in the back.
The yellow flag is out.
That is going to be Jeff Heisong and Brian Greenlee, and that is the second incident for Greenlee. For Greenlee, he did not take the pass repair the first time, but he's going to have to take it now. Heisong gets back underway. He does not have the meatball, but that's an incident for both of those guys. Let's see what we got here, Rec.
I think it was actually a 3-car incident.
Well, let's see. We've got it on Heisong and Greenlee. Is that a car that comes through the middle?
Yeah, the number 5 Victor Carr.
Yeah. So the number 5 of VH Carr, and let's have a look at what Mr. Carr sees. We're in his left eyeball. That is Heisong on the bottom, Greenlee on the top. And here he comes. He's going to try to shoot this gap. And Ryan, that gets awfully tight over there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was. That was a closing gap that someone was trying to wedge their car into.
It most certainly was, and that's some that's some significant damage to the car for VH Carr. You see the nose is completely gone on that machine, so he will need to come back and hit the pit lane. While VH Carr visits the pit road, we're going to take time out to thank our sponsor for the series, one of our series sponsors, 4D Racewear.
Strap in, feel the hum in your hands. This is 4D. Heat on my palms, grip locked, heart racing. Shoes hit the pedal, whole room shaking. Jersey on my back, hair pulled low and blazing. Every turn I take, got the ghosts I'm chasing. 4D in my veins, feel that fire when I play, when I move, when I break, when I bang through the lane. 4D on my skin, when I lose, when I win, I'm alive in the light of the game I'm in. 4D, 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 it's different. Yeah, that's winning. Grit in my voice, baseline under my breath, glove print stamped on the wheel like a crest. I don't just play, I live it. Every stitch says get it. From the couch to the checkered, I'm the storm when I wear it. 40 in my veins. Different. It's different. Yeah. 40 racewear. Let them feel you drive.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Michigan race, or to the Michigan Speedway. We are working lap 31 of 125 here at Michigan. We did have pit stops while you were seeing those messages from 40 Racewear. Jari Brubaker was the only car that Ryan elected to stay out. William Holman on back. Those cars all came in and got some fuel. Now, I don't know if you can make it on one stop from here, but there might be somebody whose name rhymes with Craig Forsyth that's going to give it a shot.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see how these strategies play out, especially with the two cautions that we've had so far.
You know, it most certainly will be, and you know, my thought here, very simply put, is somebody going to try to stretch it. If it stays green from here, you would be looking at two 43 lap runs, Ryan, and that's going to take some doing. But there are guys in this field that can do it. The pace car is off. Jari Brubaker has the loud pedal down, and away he goes. We are back underway at Michigan. Everybody safely through turns 1 and 2. Down the backstretch they come. It is worth mentioning that Chris Albrecht is now back to 1 lap down. Everybody else has maintained their position on the lead lap, Ryan.
Yep, and you know how racing is here. If you're on the lead lap, you got a chance.
What's the poker saying, Ryan? As long as you got a chip in a chair, right? There's a man right there that's got a big stack of chips, and he's got a chair at the table. He's got cards in front of him. Kyle Clinworth has worked his way to 5th. He is to the outside of Micah Mixer, and he's going to be 4th by the time we get back to the start-finish line. Mixer appears to have lifted off and said, I'm not going to fight Clindy for that. Down to the bottom goes the magenta and chrome, and Clinworth, he's coming to the front now. He's coming to the front in a big hurry, Ryan.
Yep, everyone wants to secure their place at the front, not because they want the lead.
Whoa, we had contact. Clindy and Sarawak get together. Micah Mixer shoots the gap in the middle. That was some amazing driving right there. There was a blink out of Micah Mixer, and and Mixer is still blinking, but there was some blinking out of Micah Mixer, and it caused Clindy and Sarawak to touch, and Clinworth, I don't know that car's at full song, Ryan.
Yeah, I'd be real nervous about the state of my vehicle after that one.
You know, we're going to jump on board with him. We got the telemetry up. I think he might have just said, look, there's still 90 laps to go in this thing. I believe I'm just going to pedal my way to the back and let you guys bang wheels for a while. He's back up to full song now, and he will draft right back up to the cars in front as he should so choose. But Clindy, that got the heart rate going, I'm sure, Ryan. Back to the front we go. It is Jari Brubaker, and he is under fire from William Holman. Holman wants the lead, and he grabs it. And that drags along. Joseph Morales. I've been racing and broadcasting in iRacing, Ryan, for a very long time, as have you. I cannot recall a situation where Joseph Morales got to the lead of a race and it wasn't some sort of a caution flag situation. If he gets to a lap lead, that will make me break out in a large smile. Brubaker goes back to the lead. Morales cuts to the bottom of Holman. He's going to follow him through, and I bet you that Joseph Morales now, he's going to bid for the lead going into turn one, Ryan.
Yep. He's going for it. He's got the line. He's in the lead.
We're going to jump on board Joseph Morales. If he can make it back, again, this would be the first lap that I can recall him leading. Jari Brubaker is going to charge back on the outside. Now, what he wants to do here, he's going to want to keep it to the bottom. Keep it right on that white line coming off here. He gets a little bit loose. And he's not going to do it. Brubaker nips him at the line. Joseph Morales came within feet of leading a lap. We're going to stay with him. I know we're supposed to be impartial, Ryan, but you can't help but not cheer for a longtime community campaigner who's running at the front.
Maybe this time will be the charm.
Maybe so. Jari has got it lined up. Morales throws the block. Does he get the lap lead? He does! Joseph Morales, congratulations on leading your lap, sir. Well done. Joseph Morales leads them around at 1/3 distance here at Michigan. Jari Brubaker, William Holman, second and third. Lith Fox, Micah Mixer, Nate Fields are positions 4 through 6. And Mixer continues to blink. And Ryan, that is of concern for some of the drivers in this field. It's a concern anytime you've got a blinker in iRacing. But I'll tell you what, what's that like if you're Nate Fields and you're running along with a guy who's blinking?
It's concerning because you don't know where that car is going to reappear. You could take an educated guess, but sometimes it's not correct.
That is very true. We're trying. Now we're on board with Brandon Staton. Now watch the car to your left. That is Micah Mixer. Mixer, I believe, is either doing it voluntarily or he's been ordered by race control. But a lot of times in leagues, Ryan, and you know this as well as I do, a lot of times in leagues, if you start blinking and Mixer is around,
the yellow flag is out.
So just to confirm, Mixer did get ordered by race control to the back of the field.
And now there's a spin off of the second corner, and let's see what happens here. So Mixer has been ordered to the back of the field. We were just talking about it in league environments. A lot of times they won't pull you off. In league racing, the auto disconnect from iRacing is not active. So they won't pull you off, but what they'll do is they'll force you to go to the end of the longest line or the end of whatever pack you're racing with. And there's Mixer, and that car did what they so often do at Michigan, Ryan. If you got too much weight jacker in them and you get some clean air coming off of turn number 2, it'll snap with you, won't it?
Yeah, especially that low on exit.
It most certainly will. We're gonna see Micah's hands here. He's in fourth gear, and this is a guy trying, admittedly, to go to the back of the field. Because he's got an issue, and that wasn't that car was mighty free on the bottom. The wheel was barely turned, and it snapped around on him. So tough luck for Micah Mixer. He'll go to the back. That's good luck for this man, Chris Albrecht. The Horizon IndyCar Series, well, it has the lucky dog, Chris Albrecht. He's going to be back on the lead lap, and that's going to mean all 21 cars are alive and well with a chip in a chair, Ryan. Joseph Morales is going to lead them on to pit lane. So we've got a question while we watch pit stops, Ryan. We've got a question here. Caleb Brashear wants to know if the soaps are scented like papaya from Taupe's hand soaps. What do you think?
I don't know. I'd love to find out.
You know, that would be the extra touch if they were scented as papaya. I think that would be perfect. My shipment is in the mail. I didn't order any until a couple of days ago, because as every husband knows, every wife needs to look at pot oil ward while she's washing her hands. But I don't know. I think that's a great question. You know, Brashear, you should volunteer as tribute. Order all 6 and report back next week. I think it's a good idea, don't you, Ryan?
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
It is. We're talking about Taupe's hand soaps. The Horizon IndyCar Series is brought to you by Taupe Soaps, a new and very unique sports collectible. A hand soap in the form of your favorite racing car driver. Pato Award is the first Taupe soap and is now available on taupessoaps.com. He's got 6 different colors and fragrances, so there's 6 different colors and fragrances. I'm sure papaya is probably one of them. To commemorate his first 6 IndyCar wins, get an exclusive buy one, get one offer using the code HORIZON at taupessoaps.com. Start your collection today. That's Taupe's hand soaps. What we really need is to get Taupe soaps to make a soap in the figure of Caleb Brashear. I think that would be a great idea, Ryan. I think Ryan Eric King has decided he doesn't want to listen to me anymore. Anyway,
Now I'm ordering Taupe soaps.
He's ordering Taupe soaps. I'm serious. I think that we should get Taupe soaps to make a soap in the figure of Caleb Brashear. And he must be holding a Michelob Ultra, but only if it's depicted as one of my Mich Ultras that he took. I think that that's a great idea, don't you, Ryan?
Oh, we should try to get that. We should try to get that done.
That is an excellent idea. We're going to get a restart this time by Joseph Morales is your leader. He came in the leader, made his pit stop, and exited the leader, so he is adding to his laps led total. Yari Brubaker is right behind him. Then Holman, Fox, and Fields round out your top 5. Here we go, Ryan. One more time, and let's see if we got... see if we get a little bit of a different view here. We're going to go a little bit lower and a little bit lower, a little bit closer. Away we go. Green flag back out in the Horizon IndyCar Series. 80 laps to go. That low camera angle, Ryan, makes these cars look frighteningly fast, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really shows you that they're going well over 200 miles an hour.
It most certainly does. Have you ever been to the speed spot on the backstretch in Indianapolis where you can really get like almost on the track as a spectator? Have you ever been down there?
No, I haven't.
So next time Jalopnik sends you to the Speedway, and you need to tell them that you need to be sent to the Speedway for the 2026 Indianapolis 500. And when you get there, Caleb Brashear will buy you one of my beers. However, There's a spot on the backstretch. It is just to the north of the Turn 2 suite. So, you've got the golf course there, and then there's the cart path that runs for the golf course that runs along the backstretch for the golf course. And it runs really between the Turn 3 grandstand all the way down the backstretch and kind of goes to the Turn 2 suites and then around behind it toward the clubhouse. You know what I'm talking about, Ryan?
Yep.
I'm sorry?
Yep.
Okay. If you go to the Turn 2 suites and walk about 100 yards north, there is a spot just before the tunnel, or just after the tunnel, excuse me, where the road basically runs into the wall, and there is a camera hole in the wall right there. And you can almost, like if you stand there just right, your face is staring into the eyeballs of the cars coming off of turn number 2 and passing you at 230 miles an hour. And there is nothing in between you and that race car but a chain link fence and about 2 feet. You will occasionally see some misguided souls stick their hands through the fence with a cell phone.
God. No,
Don't
do that.
That is a really good way to be expelled from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Do not do that. They will politely ask you to leave and never return, because that would be extremely dangerous if somebody dropped that phone. But yeah, you know what I'm talking about, those photographer cutouts right in the fence? There's one of those right there, and that's where all those pictures of the drivers, where you can basically see into their eyes coming off of turn 2 in Indy, that's where those pictures are shot from, and it is literally right at the track. You can stand right on the other side of the wall. You can lean against the outside wall. It's the only place on the Indianapolis Motor Speedway you can do that. We'll have to take you down there, so I'll take you down there when you come for the 2026 Indianapolis 500. How's that?
Sounds like a deal.
It very much so is. Jari Brubaker has reassumed the lead of this Michigan 250 here in the Horizon IndyCar Series. William Holman second, Joseph Morales, Lith Fox, Kyle Clinworth has moved his way back up to 5th. Clindy is trying to get back there, Paula. He's going around Lith Fox now into 4th, and I think the time to get to the whip for Clindy has come. He wants to start, positioning himself toward the front, and why not? He wants to do so. Now, fuel is not really a concern. They are 9 laps into their current run, so it would have last stopped on lap 44. That means they can go about another 30. That means they can stop comfortably at lap 84 or 85 and be more or less full gas to the end from there. Now, there is an advantage. The longer you can go on this run, that means the later you delay your stop. That also means the richer you can turn that fuel knob when it comes time to show and tell time later in this race. So there's still some advantage to saving here, isn't there, Ryan?
Yeah, there's still an advantage to saving. I'm really nervous about the fight for second here.
Oh, it's about ready to be one. Clindy has now slid past Joseph Morales. Morales on the top. Lith Fox is thinking about the outside, thinks better of it. Matty Wagner is going to dive it to the bottom. But now Clindy is going to mount a charge to the outside on Jari Brubaker. He's going to round him up. And do we want an over or under rec on how long it's going to take Clindy to get to the lead here?
One more lap.
I don't think we're going to have to wait one more lap. He climbs to the high side in turn number 3. If Wags wasn't there, he'd be in the lead now because he would have got the suck. But William Holman is going to stay on the bottom and give Wagner and Brubaker the draft, and that's going to ice out Clindy. Now, Lith Fox drops to the bottom. Morales slammed that door hard, Ryan.
Oh.
Away we go down the backstretch in the drone cam. My goodness gracious, look at these pictures. Do want to thank Whiplash SimCams for the incredible views. Do want to thank everybody for watching at home. If you haven't already done it, make sure you smash the like button on the video, ring the bell, subscribe to P1 so that you can be notified of all future iRacing action here on the channel. And we've got some barn burners set up for you. On the sister stream tonight, Gary Godso, Formula Indy Series from Indianapolis. We have the Elite Racing League Indy Lights Series. LGN has a triple header for you tomorrow night. We are off on Friday and Saturday. For the time being, remember, once NASCAR season starts, the American Motorsports Association is going to have their Grand National and Truck Series brought to you by Outland Arms and Archway Industrial Coatings. That's going to happen on Thursday and Friday. And then we've got a big one for you Sunday. This Sunday at 8 o'clock, it is Votive Indy Derby 4. Votive Indy Derby 4. Ryan, I am excited about that race. We'll get in the blimp, the P1 blimp here, and watch the battle for the front. You gonna tune that one in, good sir?
Yeah. I got nothing to watch on Sunday. My NFL team is not in the playoffs.
And which NFL team is that? Just so we can verify for the fans at home.
Yeah.
The New York Jets.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't followed the Jets since I watched Vinny Testaverde play quarterback like he was hearing footsteps from the Gambino family.
Well, in some ways, I wish the Gambinos were still around.
Very true. Very true. The blimp, the P1 airship, gives you a pretty fantastic view of what's going on. Yari Brubaker and Matt Wagner have decided they're going to swap at the front of this field. William Holman is now third, Clendy fourth. You've got Morales and Fox side by side for fifth, but that's a pretty tremendous shot. But Sunday night, 8 o'clock, if you don't have it, mark it down on your calendar. He had to have, Shane Coker had to have pre-qualifying for that race, Ryan.
Buddy.
How many just regular league races have you ever seen that had to have pre-qualifying?
None.
Yeah, I mean that's tremendous. 43 cars will line that up at Kentucky, and so I'm here for it. I know other P1 personalities are going to be in that race. Andrew Wood is going to break out the station wagon. I'll be in that race for Indy Alliance Racing. I know Clendy is going to be there. All of the Votive Racing League cars are going to be there. You're going to see some big-time names from the community. It's going to be a ton of fun. Monday night, you've got the Indy Open and Indy Next Road Top Splits. Tuesday, the triple header. It starts with the Indy Oval Top Split. Morales in the wall. It starts with the Indy Oval Top Split. You've got the Indy Next Oval Series Top Split in the middle, and then we close it out with the Aliens over at Area 51, 9:30. You want to watch IndyCars? If you want to watch IndyCars on YouTube, P1 has got you covered. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Joseph Morales liked that turn 2 wall just a little bit too much there, Ryan.
Yeah, he's going to need to keep it off the wall if he wants to stay in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's not going to hurt you too bad here at Michigan. Even if the car's bent a little bit, as long as it's not going to turn loose with you, and I thought it was going to there for a second, as long as the suspension's not bent so bad that you can't drive it, you're going to be okay, especially here. Just stay calm. You've got a fast repair. Stay in the draft. You'll be okay. Paula scored. So Clendy's mom, Paula, has mentioned Joe Namath. So I've got to ask your opinion then, Ryan, about something that Joe Namath did. I have my opinion on this, but I get yours first. Branded NFL coats or full-length fur coats for the quarterbacks on the sidelines. What's your take?
You need a certain level of charisma to pull off a full-length fur coat on the sideline. Most players don't have that.
So for those of you in the audience who may be a little bit younger than me, back in the day, they didn't have the branded down-filled coats that you see guys wearing on the sidelines. And so Joe Namath popularized wearing a full-length fur coat on the sideline. And he got it. Where I can't remember where he got it, but he got it from a famous fur shop somewhere, didn't he, in New York City?
Forgot where on Fifth Avenue he got it, but
Yeah,
he
it was.
did get it in town.
Yeah, it was a famous company that made furs that he got it from on Fifth Avenue, and then they wound up paying him a tidy sum to wear their fur coats on the sideline, as it were, and then that became a trend. I think we need to go back to fur coats for quarterbacks. I think that we should do that. I think that the rest of the players, they can wear their branded gear. I think football coaches should wear suits, and quarterbacks should wear fur coats. What do you think, Ryan?
Sounds fair. Sounds like a fair deal.
Meanwhile, we continue to have a bit of a tussle here for the lead. Brubaker, Holman, Wagner, Mitchum, Lithfox, and Clindy are all there in the top six. And I tell you what, Ryan, it's to the point where it doesn't really matter which one you call. They're going to be either first, somewhere between first and sixth, just somewhere in that general vicinity, right?
Yeah, you just want to be within arm's length.
Yeah, you got to get this thing to the end. You got to keep all four wheels on it, be in that lead draft, and you've got a shot. Do want to welcome Pays in Portugal to the chat. Do thank you so much for joining us. If you haven't already done it, make sure you hit the like button on the video. If you respect the stream, ring the bell, subscribe to P1. Do want to thank our sponsors, Taupe Soaps and 4D Racewear, for providing this amazing action. Mason Mitchum goes to the lead. Here comes Clindy, 3 wide, Ryan. What a power move. He loaded that up starting in turn number 1, and I saw it coming down the back. Clindy went from 4th to the lead to 2nd at the line, and that's how fast it changes, folks. From 4th to the lead to 2nd in a mile.
He's going to make another push for the lead.
We do indeed. Clindy has decided he wants to be in the lead now, and maybe that's a self-preservation move. We've seen some of these cars getting kind of argy-bargy there in the draft, and maybe Clindy figures, hey, I just as soon rather be out front, right?
Yeah, because we're coming up quickly on halfway.
We most certainly are. Well, we've already been past halfway, Ryan. I don't know if you're watching on a delayed basis. 71 is more than half of 125, and I'm the one that went to Ball State.
Just me thinking it was a 150 lap race.
No, 125, 250 miles. William Holman is your leader. Then Clindy. The battle is behind Clindy, Mitchum Brubaker, Brendan Domingue, Matty Wagner. They're all in a fight. They're 2x2 all the way really back to Nate Fields. Craig Forsyth has a great seat for all of this. Let's jump on board with Craig. And here's what you see when you're 12th with 11 cars at Michigan in front of you.
Yeah, and we still have all 21 cars in the race, and 2.5 seconds covers the entire field.
They're all in the draft. Now, some of you may be asking, a veteran like Craig Forsyth, why is he not trying to go to the front like Clindy? Craig Forsyth, if you listen to the engine note, he does not want to go to the front right now, Ryan. You hear those lifts? He's passing Lithfox because he has to, just because that's the way the draft is going. That's the first time we've seen Craig on the limiter. So he decided now's the time to go, and he stood in the gas, got on the limiter, and passed several cars. He's going to do it again down the back, but that is now Craig Forsyth deciding it's time for him to go too, Ryan.
Yeah, we're reaching that point where We're not coming up on halfway. We're coming up on 2/3 of the way through the race.
Well, think about it this way. You've got 31 laps on this current run. You can probably go anywhere between 5 and 10 more. Now's the time to go to the front and use up some of the fuel that you had saved. Brubaker and Holman still swapping, but Craig is coming to the front, and I think that's a function of maybe he saved some fuel, and now he knows he can go full Rich to the end, and he doesn't have to save anything else.
That is also true, though. When you're trying to
look at how close that is.
Okay, and breathe. When you're coming up to this lane in the stint, you're also thinking about how are you going to come into pit lane, because you simply just can't go to the front of the field and then pull in the pit lane, because typically, there's a fight up front, and someone could just literally run into the back of you.
Don't look now, but Chris Albrecht and Brian Greenlee were banging wheels just down the backstretch there. Those two, their cars nearly eloped to Detroit not so long ago. They are banging wheels one more time, and now Greenlee's decided, hey, I've had enough of that. He gets out of that mess, gets to the bottom of the speedway. But look, there's a huge fight up at the front. Forsyth is now positioning himself toward the front. Do want to point out that pit stops, the window for those opens in, I'm going to call it 5 laps, Ryan?
Yep.
4 laps? 5 laps? 82 would be the earliest I would want to come and feel safe about making it. And even if you did that, you'd have to save a ton, right?
Yeah, ideally you would want to come in somewhere between 85 and 90.
Correct, but you can make it. You can make it if you come in anytime starting about lap 82. You want to try to leave it 85 to 90, but you can make it. Theoretically, if we've seen people make it from here, but those people are not human for their ability to save fuel. But I have seen people go 48, 49 laps here.
Man, brief tangent. Speaking of not human fuel savers, Scott Dixon got knighted.
Is that right?
Yeah, he is now Sir Scott Dixon.
So the queen tried to chop his head off, missed and gave him a steel shirt instead. Is that how that works?
Basically, that's how it works in New Zealand.
So that's still from the Queen of England, though, right?
Yes.
Indeed. Well, congratulations to Sir Scott Dixon. I hope he doesn't think that I'm going to be calling him Sir. We don't recognize such funny things in the United States. There was a gentleman named George Washington that saw to that, Ryan, for your history lesson. Anyway. No, that is pretty cool, though. I think just for fun, Ganassi should make him wear the steel shirt and the joust with the mask sometime, just for funsies. Maybe they could get one of those Richard Mille watches and put it around the steel shirt, for advertising purposes. What do you say?
Yeah, you gotta make them. You gotta even things out between Scott and Alex at the team.
That's true. And for the fans at home, we kid and jest about Scott Dixon. If you get a chance to tune an IndyCar race in this year, do it. Dixon is, when you watch Scott Dixon, you are watching one of the 3 or 4 greatest drivers ever to strap into one of these cars ever. And the music isn't going to be playing much longer for Scotty Dixon. He's getting up there in age. So if you get a chance to watch Scott Dixon race, do it. And I'm sure Ryan Eric King will disagree with that, but
no, you're pretty much on the money.
He's getting old. He's my age, so he's 40.
Yeah.
He's in his early 40s, and he's, unless he's Mario Andretti, and Mario was the outlier. Mario raced well into his late 50s, but and we got pit stops now coming. Yari Brubaker is coming in, so the pit stops have started. The pit stops have started, and we're going to get it counting backwards. 43 laps to go. That's on the edge, Ryan, and you're not going to be able to. You're not going to have the fuel to fight for very long if you're going to have to go 43 laps. Yeah.
And yeah, we had Carr lose it on the entry. Luckily, he was able to reverse. Yep, no caution.
Let's see if we can't go back and take a look at that for VH Carr. There he is in the black McLaren Aero McLaren entry. Here he comes. And this is kind of something we were talking about the hybrid privately before the race started, Ryan. This is something that drivers are going to have to get used to with the hybrid. If you have that thing, once the battery is full, it changes how the car brakes, and it will lock the rears up if you're not careful. And so that's exactly what happened to VH Carr. Spins it coming into the pit lane. More cars now coming in. Brandon Staton, Joseph Morales in the pit lane. We're going to see Brandon Domingue come in. And now it's down to the guys that you see have been saving fuel. And look at Clindy. He's found Mason Mitchum. So these are not teammates. They are painted similar. They are corporate teammates, though, Ryan. They found each other, and they're trying to pull the old swapsies and pull away here.
Yeah, and it's going to be really important because unlike in last year where we were running reduced tanks, with full tanks, that means these stops are going to be a bit longer if you're coming in,
Whoa, Carr, hard in the wall. It's Wagner.
Caution, yellow flags.
Matty Wagner destroyed the inside wall. That is bad news for all of the cars that had just pitted. There's another car around. That's Micah Mixer. Matt Wagner hard into the inside wall. And let's see what's happened here to Matty Wags. But that is a huge break for the cars that were still out. That is a terrible break for the cars that had stopped. They're going to get their laps back, obviously, but they're going to be short of fuel, and they're going to be at the back. Watch Wagner, and I bet you a shiny new dime, Ryan. Yep, same thing. Rears locked, except they did it much sooner. He goes hard in the inside wall, and Micah Mixer locks it down trying to avoid him. Great move from Ryan O'Donohue to not go down pit lane. Jeff Hysong elected to go down pit lane. Hysong is going to wind up with a tail end of the longest line penalty. But watch the view from Ryan O'Donohue here, guys. This is incredible. Watch this, Ryan. Now he's coming into the pits, and he sees Wags, and he says, nope, and he pulls it back onto the track, and darn near gets collected. But that's some heads-up driving from Ryan O'Donohue there.
Yeah, being aware of your surroundings and the race situation.
It most certainly is. So Mitchum, Clinworth, Surwack, Albrecht, Forsyth now your top five. Gary Lovern, Brian Greenlee, Lithfox, Hunter Ingrave, Hugo Galez are the rest of the top 10. And then the aforementioned Ryan O'Donohue, as well as Jeff Hysong, are the remainder of the lead lap cars. Yari Brubaker, Nate Fields, Joseph Morales, William Holman, Brandon Staton, VH Carr, Brandon Domingue. They are one lap down. Matty Wagner and Micah Mixer have the meatballs, and they are 2 laps down. Now, the cars that are a lap down, they're going to stay out and take the wave around here, but that's double bad for them. And the reason that we say it's double bad for them, not only are they going to be short of fuel, the yellow helps them, but they cannot stop under this yellow and keep their lap that they just gained back. So they're going to need another yellow, Ryan.
Yeah, they're going to need another yellow, which we've already had a number of them today. It could always happen again, but you don't want to rely on a yellow.
You don't. There's the race off of pit road. There is the race off pit road. Ryan O'Donohue will sneak through. Then there's Hysong. And so we are back to the Michigan Speedway. We are under caution, 37 laps to go. Mason Mitchum is your leader. Then Clindy, Albrecht, Forsyth, and Fox. We will return right after these messages from 4D Racewear.
Strap in, feel the hum in your hands. This is 4D. iRacing. Shoes hit the pedal, whole room shaking. Jersey on my back, hat pulled low and blazing. Every turn I take, got the ghosts I'm chasing. 4D in my veins, feel that fire when I play, when I move, when I break, when I bang through the lane. 4D on my skin, when I lose, when I win, I'm alive in the light of the game I'm in. 4D, 4D, 4D. It's different. Yeah, that's winning. Stamped on the wheel like a crest. I don't just play, I live it. Every stitch says get it. From the couch to the checkered, I'm the storm when I wear it.
We are back at the Michigan Speedway. It is Mark Murphy. It is the wreck, Ryan Eric King, the man, the myth, the wreck. We've got 36 laps to go here. We're gonna get the green with 35, and we are gonna have a knockdown, drag-out, shootout to see who is going to claim the first race of the Horizon IndyCar Series Season 3. Mitchum, Clintworth, Albrecht are your top three. All three of those guys are veterans. And then you have the Foxy veteran and Craig Forsyth in fourth, followed by Andrew Surwack in fifth. Gary Lovern, Brian Greenlee, Hunter Ingrab, Hugo Gallas, Ryan O'Donohue, your top 10. Jeff Heisong is 11th. Brubaker on back. Those cars took the wave around, and so they are on used tires. So kind of keep an eye on that. Away we go, away we roll, and we'll do this one on board with Mason Mitchell.
Green flag.
Just like that, Mason Mitchum came up through the gears. Kyle Clinworth got a big draft, and Mitchum took the restart in the lead. He comes back to the flag in third. Chris Albrecht has now nabbed the lead, Ryan, and he's showing some muscle here as we get down time to pay the money.
Yeah. Like you always see this during late restarts, the front just becomes a hornet's nest as, all the contenders really jostle for the lead, trying to just see what they can do.
Very much so. And this is kind of the symptom of my grandfather used to say it. My grandpa Murphy used to say the pay window is opening, right? It's been it had been closed, it had been locked for most of the day, but now the lady that runs the pay booth, she's in her office, the lights on, and she's starting to open the window, and when they get ready to pay the money, that's when the fun usually starts. Ryan, Mason Mitchum has got the lead, and he's got a little bit of a lead, but he has 6 or 7 hungry cars immediately behind him. Mitchum now goes the lead over Albrecht. He's going to bring Clindy with him. Surwack's going to drop to the bottom, and Clindy immediately is going to try to shoot by Mason Mitchum. Drop to the bottom is Surwack. He's going to go by Mitchum. You may be able to get to that lead, but Ryan, you're trying to size this thing up because, quite frankly, you're not going to be able to hold that lead for very long.
No, not at all, especially, 31 to go now. We're a long ways away from the end.
We are very much a long ways away from the end. The other bit, since we are a long ways away from the end, this is almost, I viewed this part of the race as practice. Like, I want to get up to the front. I need to try to figure out what it's going to take to do two things. One, I want to be in the front line right? So I want to be in the first 3 or 4 cars when it comes to get the white flag. The other bit is I need to know how long I can hold the lead if I try to hold it, and I need to know when to make the move to make the pass for the lead so that I don't get passed again coming back to get the checkers.
Yeah, and it's going to be hard because seemingly with the setup they're using today, you can't run the bottom line like you could in the good old days.
But were those days all that good, Ryan?
They weren't good if you weren't the leader.
Yeah, so back in the DW12, the IR05 days, you used to be able at Michigan to simply pin the car on the white line and nobody, and I mean nobody, could pass you. Welcome to Shotgun Willie. Thank you so much for tuning it in. We have got a big crowd here, Ryan. 46 people watching the race currently, and welcome you all to the P1 Broadcasting Network. If you haven't already done it, make sure you smash the like button on the video, ring the bell, subscribe to the channel. Do want to thank the sponsors for the series. First of all, 4D Racewear, Jim Herrick and his group, amazing sim racing stuff, gloves, shoes, hats. Check them out, 4dracewear.com, and also Tope's Hand Soap. This series is brought to you by Tope's Hand Soap, which is kind of an interesting thing, Ryan. It is hand soap in the form of your favorite race car driver. Pato Award is the first Tope soap, and those are available over at topesoaps.com. You got a choice of 6 different colors and fragrances to commemorate Pato's 6 IndyCar wins. If you go over there to topesoaps.com and you enter the code Horizon, you get a buy one get one. So please do that. Please do that. Hugo Galez has a meatball. So
yeah,
let's
heading down the back straight on lap 98. He made contact. Well, seemingly Yari made contact with Hugo.
Yeah, and here it is. And that is, well, he hit it might have been some net code that got into Hugo, but Hugo Galez hit that wall a ton. And he has come in to get his fast repair, but he's going to go 2 laps down. The battle at the front is pretty much the same as we left it, Ryan. Albrecht, Surwatt, Clinworth, Mitchum, Forsyth, and that is subject to change every 100 feet or every couple hundred yards or so. So as we get down to it, Ryan, we've got Clindy and Chris Albrecht leading this train. There's a huge fight for second. In that second pack, Brian Greenlee has now appeared on the scene. What are you thinking about how this is going to play out here? Where would you want to position your car when it gets down to 25 laps, 50 miles here to go? We're certainly inside that window, but it's getting time for show and tell. Where does Ryan-Eric King want to be right now?
I'd want to be in the middle of the track in the second row. Just give yourself a position to make the move for the lead on the last lap, because we know with the setup and the conditions that if you lead the last lap, if you lead heading into the last lap, you're probably not going to be the first car across the finish line.
Yeah, it's very difficult for the leader to hold it. Here's the weather, by the way. 72 degrees on the track, 108 in the air. There's a little bit of wind out of the west, and it's kind of humid, but not really. There is no cloud cover, and so that's the weather report. I am not a meteorologist, but those conditions are just about perfect for IndyCar racing. As I'm looking at Clindy, big slice.
Oh.
That's what's going to start happening, and that's what I'm going to start watching for. Everybody up until now and up until about 10 laps ago is going to play relatively nice. They're going to lift. They're going to cut each other some slack. Once we get to about 10 laps or 20 miles to go, those moves are all going to look like what Clindy just did. They're going to slice across multiple lanes. There will be no more give and take, and that's where it gets really dangerous. If I were me, I would like to be about where Mason Mitchum is, anywhere between second to fourth. Second, third, fourth, or fifth. I don't want to be any further back than fifth or sixth. Craig Forsyth, his position right now is about as far as I want to be back, but I want to be in the mix. I do not want to be leading.
Yeah, because yeah, and ideally, if you are leading, when you get past, because you will, immediately go for someone's rear wing. Just get behind anyone to get back in the tow and stay in it.
Most certainly so. And look, I can see Craig Forsyth and what he's driving at in this pack. He is almost saying, look, I'm going to be fifth here. Y'all can have your huge fight around me. I want to be fifth. Clindy has staked out a position that says he wants to be among the top three. Same with Albrecht. Same with Mitchum. The problem with being any further back is if you're like Gary Lovren or Yari Brubaker here, you're almost so far back that when they get to fighting 3 or 4 wide up at the front, there's just going to be nowhere for you to go. So unless you're on rows,
you're giving yourself too tall an order to complete.
Yeah, and so that's why you need to be fifth or better here, and now they're really starting to bounce off of one another going down the back. Yari Brubaker on the bottom, that's Wags in the middle, and you've got Forsyth up top. Keep in mind the number 6 car of Matt Wagner is 2 laps down. Plenty fast enough to be up here, Ryan, but he is 2 laps down, and he would like to get in front of the leader, because there would certainly be pit stops if it came down to it, and that would give him a chance to get 1 lap back and then get a wave around and get his other lap back. And so Wags would love to get up here and naturally get 1 back, but look at the fight at the front. Now Surwack has gone, but Mitchum, Clinworth, and Albrecht are all maintaining their positions at some point of 1, 2, and 3. And Forsyth, Surwack, big loose. Forsyth dives to the bottom. Oh, this is going to get fun. The other thing that we didn't consider, Ryan, there will be 37 green flag laps on these tires when we get to the end. These cars handle really well for about 25 laps. Anything after 30 in the draft, they can get kind of sketchy, can't they?
Yeah, and it's not only sketchy for you, but everyone else. And once we reach a certain point, a caution will end the race.
It most certainly will. Clindy continues to battle Mitchum. Albrecht, 1, 2, 3. Surwack and Lith Box now P4 and 5. Forsyth has somehow been maneuvered off of P5. He is now back in 6th. Wags has dropped away from the battle at the front. I think he's content to understand that even if a yellow flies, he's pretty much cooked here. It is going to be awful tough to dislodge Clindy here, Ryan, because now when you get to about 10 to go, that is also the time where you see guys trying to hold that white line.
Good luck doing that today.
Well, good luck doing that today. And a lot of that depends on the gearing. It depends on the temperature. It's going to depend on the tire wear. But we heard from Chris Wilhite, who won the open or the fixed race here. Was it fixed or open? I can't recall. But you could use the hybrid to kind of hold your own down there on the bottom. So we'll see how that plays out. We were kind of talking earlier that the hybrid might not play a huge role. It certainly has in terms of breaking into the pit lane. It hasn't.
Oh,
The yellow
God.
flag is out.
Hard contact in the wall. That is Micah Mixer and Ryan O'Donohue. Hard in the outside wall, and that's going to change pretty much everything. See him come down the back. Now this incident is going to happen in turn number 4. Mixer is up at the top, and he is going to get into the wall there. He's in the wall more or less all the way through turn 4. He comes off it and just down right into Ryan O'Donohue, who's more or less an innocent bystander. You see Yari Brubaker take evasive action. Brubaker slides to the inside and crashes through, ironically, victory lane. But that is going to bring out the caution here with 12 laps to go. And Ryan, do we see anybody come into the pit lane?
Let's see. Do we have any takers?
We're going to have a lot of takers. Clindy, Mitchum, Albrecht, Forsyth, everybody is coming in with the exception of Lith Fox. So Lith Fox did not come in. There's one more car, I believe, sneaking along in the background. That's Wags behind. That's Wagner behind. Now, Wags would like to get his lap back. That is Hugo Gala is going back onto the lead lap, going past. He is the lucky dog. I don't believe there is. Yes, there is. There's one car behind Wagner. That is the 9 of Brandon Staton. 9 of Brandon Staton. So, those are your cars that you're going to see here, Ryan, that stay out. Now, I bet Wags is going to pull it in here. He's going to be commanded to go to the back anyway because it's less than 10 laps to go. So Wagner's not going to be in that mix. Lith Fox and Brandon Staton are on used tires. They should have enough fuel, but Ryan, they're going to be on used tires, and it's going to be awfully hard for them to hold position in any sort of a draft. Then you've got Mason Mitchum on back. Those cars have stopped.
Yeah, I think if you're Lith or if you're Staton, it's the Hail Mary play. It's checkers or I'm finishing dead last.
Well, here's the thing, though. I understand the move from Brandon Staton. And there's Wags pulling it. I understand the move from Brandon Staton. He's been a 15th to 20th place car most of this day, right? And so I understand the situation from Staton's point of view. Lith Fox was in the top 5, has run around the top 5 for most of the evening, and so for Lith, and we'll get a good zoom in on Lith. Him and Frisky Frankie have some awesome paint jobs, and there's Lith's. I don't know. It's a big gamble. I think Lith might be thinking, look, if I can be up at the front and establish the bottom, I'm going to make them drive around me, right? If it comes down to a drafting contest, as soon as he gets in dirty air with those old tires, he's going to be in trouble. So I think he might be thinking, look, I'm just going to get to the bottom and try to hold it, maybe. But there he is, nonetheless. We're gonna get the green flag. 9 laps to go, 18 miles here at Michigan for the season opener, season 3 of the Horizon IndyCar Series. Really quickly, if you haven't already done it, make sure you smash the like button on the video, ring the bell, subscribe to P1. Do want to thank 40 Racewear, Topes, Soaps, and Whiplash Simcams for their support of P1 and the series. The pace car is going to duck away. Lith Fox is going to stand on the loud pedal. We'll watch it from Barney's viewpoint. Green flag is out. 18 miles to go.
Green.
Whoa, we've got an accident on the front. That is, I believe, I don't want to call it wrong, Ryan. I believe that was Brandon Domingue. He found trouble at the start of this race, and he is dragging around very slowly. Here comes O'Donoghue. Domingue trying to limp that car back to the pits, Ryan. He's going to have some problems with the field coming by him here in a second.
Yeah, seemingly hard, just went early, checked up, and then just stack up behind him.
Yeah, there's the concertina, and Domingue, by the time he got there, had nowhere to go. He runs in the back of the 84 machine of William Holman and hits the wall hard. No caution. He's going to get it back to the pit lane.
We're going to get a caution now.
Yeah, we're going to get a caution now. Well, maybe. Oh, big trouble. Big trouble. Cars are everywhere still. No caution. Now the caution. Brandon Staton, hard. Chris Albrecht, big contact. Hunter Ingrave is also involved. He has a black flag. Joseph Morales, a black flag. But hard contact for a number of different cars. And that's Albrecht again. That's Chris Albrecht again, seemingly hooked up with another machine. Here it is. Ryan, that looked very similar to the incident he had with Greenlee, except those two cars didn't stay hooked together. They went straight to the fence, and then no control for the 9. Hard contact for Hunter Ingrave there. You see Greenlee going to the grass. That is a sickening feeling for Brandon Staton.
Yeah, just to have your day just end, especially at this point of the race.
It is. Paul is right. There's cars flying all over the track. There's the initial contact. And watch, poor Brandon Staton is on the brakes, but he has no steering in that car, obviously. And he's trying to get it. He's trying to get it to safety, but poor Hunter Ingrave. And let's watch it from Hunter Ingrave's perspective. And poor Hunter, he gets a double whammy because not only is he got damage here, he's going to get a black flag for going through the pit lane. Watch this. There's the contact. It's way up here, and Ingrave thinks, "Oh, they'll stay up there. I'm just going to go to the bottom of the track. No big deal. I'm going to miss this crash in. Whoopsies!"
Yep, nearly saved it, but then lost control.
And then hard contact with the inside wall. Hunter Ingrave back on the pit lane, and he is out of his IR18. So that might have been the absolute thing that Lith Fox was thinking and praying for. He got a quickie caution, and that means he's only now got to hold off the angry horde with fresh tires behind him for what I would think would be 3 laps, Ryan. We should get the green with 3 to go, don't you think?
Yeah, the lights are still on the pace car. They should go out the next lap, and then we restart on 123.
We will. Now, for the record, Ryan O'Donoghue was the car you saw go by. He is going to get himself back on the lead lap as the lucky dog. Lith Fox is your leader. Then it's Clindy, Mason Mitchum, Craig Forsyth, and Andrew Surwack, your top 5. Gary Lovern, Jeff Heisong, Yari Brubaker, Nate Fields, and William Holman round out the top 10. Brian Greenlee, an excellent run to 11th. Hugo Gallas has had his trials and tribulations today, but he's made it back to 12th. Joseph Morales led this race earlier. He's got his machine fixed up. He is 13th. VH car 14th. Ryan O'Donoghue just got back on the lead lap. He is 15th. Brandon Domingue, after his contact that did not bring out the caution, is 16th. He did affect his fast repair. Matty Wagner 2 laps down in 17th. Chris Albrecht has checked into the chat in YouTube. The tears flowing from Chris. He had gave it a great ride, but he is going to be credited with 18th out of the race. Hunter Ingrave, Brandon Staton, and Micah Mixer. Those cars are all either under tow or repair on the pit lane from Albrecht on back. And you're right, Chris. It has been a good race, and it's been a great crowd here. Do want to thank everybody for tuning it in. Thank Taupe Soaps. Thank you to 40 Racewear. If you haven't already done it, make sure you smash the like button on the video, ring the bell, subscribe to P1, and you can see action just like this just about every night of the week. Although I have to submit the disclaimer, Ryan. Usually the lead commentator is a lot more competent than I am.
Okay, coming up to a 3-lap sprint for the win.
We are. So 6 miles. This is just a little more than half a qualifying run in Indianapolis for the win here at Michigan. I'm not going to do any of the fancy camera work, Ryan. We're just going to stick with Lith Fox and Kyle Clinworth here and show everybody what 6 miles of just knockdown, drag out, shoot 'em out action here at Michigan is like. Lith Fox has the lead, and
Green, green, green.
he now has the green flag. He gets the jump. He is going to immediately begin the snake and try to break that draft, Ryan.
Yeah, because at this point, every yard you could stay ahead matters.
It does indeed. Lith Fox immediately moves to the left to cover the inside. Clindy is going to try to go around on the high side. Mason Mitchum eagerly looks to make it 3 wide. He's going to think better of it. Lith Fox stays in second, but look at those old tires push up the track. Mitchum is going to slingshot down through into second, and here comes Craig Forsyth. 2 laps to go.
And the rest of the field has arrived.
Yes, they have. What was once 3 cars, 4 cars, has become 7. Clindy, Mitchum, contact Mitchum, hard wreck. Big trouble. Mason Mitchum is in trouble, and Craig Forsyth is scored as your leader. Lith Fox second, Clindy third. That almost looked like netcode hook 'em up again, Ryan.
Because Clinworth and who's the other car?
Mason
made contact.
Mitchum, yeah.
They made contact on the exit of turn 2, and I was worried that Kyle was going to spear off into the wall. He held it, but he came back out on track, and they just made contact. Well, Mitchum made contact with the rest of the field.
I was going to say there's contact between Clindy and Mason Mitchum, and then there's contact between Mitchum and more or less everybody else. This is a wild scene. We're going to watch it from Gary Lovern's point of view. Now, Lovern is motoring along, and look, he's thinking right about now, I'm in contention. I got a shot to finish on the podium, if not win this thing. And there's the netcode contact, and Mitchum, Clindy goes low, and there goes Gary. He just has nowhere to go to avoid, and then he gets clobbered by the 84. He gets clobbered by the 84 machine of William Holman. Holman's going to continue on. By the way, he's going to wind up running 6th here. Craig Forsyth is going to come around and claim the win. And who?
Like I said earlier, Craig was in a place out on track where he could keep himself safe.
Well, he kept himself safe, and now he's going to roll, albeit at caution speed, under the checkered flag for Barney. Lith Fox is second, and that was pretty doggone get ready. Look at Mason Mitchum. He's going to limp that baby across the line. You got to be thinking about points. This is a championship after all. You got to be thinking about points, Ryan. Mason Mitchum limps it home and gets it across in the. Limps it home, gets it across, and he'll be credited with 13th spot.
Oh, what a way to start the year.
It most certainly does indeed. It is going to be Craig Forsyth credited with your win. Forsyth gets the top step of the podium over Lith Fox, so that gamble paid off for Lith. He's going to finish in the second spot. Clindy, after the late race contact, he'll bring it home third. Jeff Heisong, Yari Brubaker round out your top five. Then it's William Holman, Nate Fields, Brian Greenlee, Hugo Gallas, and Joseph Morales. That's 2 good finishes in 2 nights for Joseph Morales. How about that? In 11th, VH Car, Ryan O'Donohue from the stock car ranks. He'll bring it home 12th. A fine finish for him. Mason Mitchum, what could have been Mitchum at late race contact, he'll be classified 13th. 14th, Brandon Domingue. Then Gary Lovern, Andrew Surwack, Matty Wagner, Brandon Staten out of the race. Chris Albrecht, Hunter Ingrave, and Micah Mixer round out your field. Wild final lap indeed, and we're going to hear from some of the participants in that wild final lap momentarily. Waiting on some of the drivers, Ryan. That's kind of what you expect. Michigan to be, isn't it?
Yeah, we're pretty much, we did not know who was going to win until that last lap.
We most certainly did not. All right, we've got Lith Fox in the waiting room. Let's go ahead and pull up Lith. Clindy is not yet available, so here's Lith. Lith Fox, you've got Murph, you've got Ryan Eric King in the P1 broadcasting booth. You got a copy?
I can hear you loud and clear.
You can hear me loud and clear. So it's the middle step of the podium tonight. You were the only car that stayed out under that final caution. You'd been near the top 5. Was the thinking I can get to the lead and maybe hold it, or was it I can get to the lead and get a quickie caution? What was the line of thought? We got to ask.
Well, I never try to bet on cautions, so the thought was that I might not be able to hold it every lap, but if I can at least get by them on the... Oh, hold on. Sorry, 1 second.
We'll blame Frisky Frankie.
Yeah, it was... People were talking in iRacing there. I was thinking that if I could just get to the end, it's something where maybe we can go 3 wide, maybe it would be, just a couple of, milliseconds or something, even just by a nose. That's really all I was hoping for. Just trying to make sure that I was in the best position I could. And then Craig came out from around the outside, and I was like, oh, I'm in danger here. And then they wrecked, so I was like, oh. So I tried to boost past them before the caution came out, but it didn't work out. So
it all did work out though. You wound up with a second spot. Ryan Eric King, what have you got for Lith tonight?
Well, I'm just thinking, what was your mindset in the whole staying out during the penultimate caution, the caution before the last one, to get to the front of the field?
So I had like 17 laps of fuel left at least. So I was just like, oh, I'm good. Actually, I had too much at the end. By the time we were on that that final caution there, I think I still had about several liters. I had at least, I think, calculations 10 or 11 laps left. So I actually had way too much fuel because of the that fuel in last time and just saving throughout the entire previous green flag stint. So a little bit too good at fuel saving this time around. Could have used a little bit less to maybe that would have helped me with Forsyth, actually.
Well, I'll tell you what, whatever you did it doggone well, my friend. Thank you so much for joining us in the booth. New season, kind of some of the same faces. So always glad to have you up here. Since you've been here before, you know the drill. Friends, family, sponsor, shout outs. The floor is yours.
Obviously, shout out to Mariah United VRT, my racing team. Frisky Frankie for helping me get into this league. Sad he couldn't be here with us today. I hope he'll be at least in the third race, I think is the one he'll be able to join us for. Shout out to everyone in in my stream right now that's been supporting me this entire time and keeping me alive. And final shout out to actually 4D Racewear, the title sponsor.
Yeah, how about them?
At Indianapolis, I was able to after Indianapolis, I was able to snag a pair of their shoes, and it actually really helps with the entire tracking software I use on my streams. So I don't get like weird cramps in my feet anymore, and I don't feel the trackers at all. So it's been super nice wearing those and helping me do these longer races. So shout out to them as well. And of course, shout out to you all here in the broadcasting booth for broadcasting the race for us.
You're more than welcome, Lith. It's a pleasure to see you. Keep going fast and having fun, buddy.
All right, enjoy.
Absolutely. That is Lith Fox. He is going to be second today. We're going to flip-flop back and grab Kyle Clinworth. Clindy, you got Murph, and you've got the man, the myth, the wreck, Ryan-Eric King in the booth. You and Mace got kind of tangled up there at the end. Was that kind of walk us through what happened from your chair and what your thoughts of this race were generally?
I just think the track temp needed to be like 20 degrees hotter. It was 104. I think it was 124 Fahrenheit. We would have seen some really, really good racing. Just way too packy, in my opinion, but it makes the car stable. So it's kind of what you get. On that last lap there, I was just trying to get a good exit, and I came up as much as I thought I could afford to. And I think Mason just twitched down a little bit. And it's one of those racing deals, when you're this close together, you can't go 125 laps without hitting somebody one time. And that was the one time I made contact with somebody else and ended in disaster. So wish I could be sharing a 1-2 with Mason tonight, or, at least a 2-3, but wasn't in the cards. So, just votive sponsored cars killing each other. It's no new thing. We've been doing it all week. So, we're going to keep doing it. It's good. We're both running at the front. That's what we love to see.
Indeed. Ryan-Eric King, what do you have for the Clindy this evening?
Well, I gotta say, you put on a show at the end of this race. What was your mindset heading, during the closing portion of the race? Because you were making move after move for the lead.
Yeah, I just wanted to be in the front because I knew we had a lot of yellows, and when people start to make moves like that, you see contact, and we got a couple of them, and I don't think I was ever in the lead for any of them, and that was the plan. I was trying to be in the lead as much as possible, so if we got a yellow and it ended the race, I would win. And strategy just backfired. Just timed him wrong, didn't do my restarts right, didn't make the move at the end right. But I was planning on having my hybrid full for the last lap. I had just recharged it there in 1 and 2, and I was going to kind of fall in behind Craig and Mason, I hoped, and then slingshot around them both coming to the line, but just couldn't get there under green. So next time maybe.
There you go. Well, I'll tell you what, Clindy, it's always a pleasure watching you. It's always a pleasure having you in the booth. Friends, family, sponsors, shout-outs. The floor is yours.
Yeah, shout out everybody last night in Area 51, except for the Votive Racing League. I can't believe I forgot my one and only paid sponsor, who's got the biggest race of probably the year coming up, or the year so far of 2026, without a doubt. But it's the 4th Votive Indy Derby. It'll be on P1 Broadcasting at 8 p.m. this Sunday night. We have 43 cars around the 1.5 mile green-walled Kentucky Speedway, and you'll see myself go out there and try to win that sucker. So other than that, thanks to you guys in the booth, Ryan and Murph. You guys do a great job, and thanks to my mom tuning in from back home in Illinois. Other than that, I'll see you guys later.
Clindy, I have to say we've got to say it's Shane Coker has done an amazing job with that. That is easily now the third crown jewel beside the Hoosier 500 and the P1 600 is the Votive Indy Derby, and it's also a trophy that I have that you don't. So please don't win it, because the number of things that I've won that you haven't is rapidly shrinking, and that's one of them. So.
Well, we'll see. Sunday, I'm putting the practice in, so we'll see how it turns out.
There you go, Clindy. Well, thank you so much for joining in. Keep going fast, having fun, buddy, and we'll see you. We'll see you at the next one.
Catch you later, guys.
Yes, sir. And that will bring us to tonight's winner. He, in just about the most Craig Forsyth-like performance you will ever see, he led one lap. And that was the lap that paid the dollar bills. Craig Forsyth, you've got Murph, and you've got Ryan-Eric King in the booth. First question: how much fuel did you save in that first run?
In the first run. Well, I don't. Yeah, we were going to make the number. Everyone was. I think everyone except the leaders were going to make it on just the two stops, going 42, 43. I think I was going to be able to make it 46. I think because I'd been super fuel saving and I really wanted to get as much of the fuel save out of the window, out of my way as possible. So that was my plan, was to just fuel save as much as humanly possible. Because you had to save you could make 40 laps as long as you weren't that aggressive, but as 38 laps you could make foot to the floor. So if I could save 5 laps per stint, then I just needed to save 1 or 2 laps in each of the other 2 stints, and that was going to be super easy. So yeah, that was the plan there. No, I led 1 lap under caution as well, but yeah.
I actually looked it up. You led 3, and all 3 of them. Well, yeah, that's right. You led the 1 lap under yellow because you came in and topped off. You came and took your pit stop on the second caution lap, and then you led the 2 at the end. So I misspoke. You led 3 total laps. It's still a very Craig Forsyth-like performance, though. What was your plan at the end? Had the violence not broken out at the front?
That was it. I threw the outside pass Hail Mary to get out in front. I knew I was going to be, because basically I used my hybrid, went ahead of them, and I was going to be a sitting duck going down the rest of that back straight. Mm-hmm. But it also, I figured everyone was going to be gloves off at that point, so playing for the caution type thing. Because then coming into 3-4, I was going to be able to recharge again, and I would have lost the lead at that point, and then it was going to be those of us who had the hybrid to do the blast on that last lap and where we were going to be able to do it. I even said to my straight, that was the best possible outcome, because it was a complete roll of the dice between about 6 guys. If it had stayed green and on that final lap, I would not have bet on who would have won had it stayed green between the I think the top 6 or 7 there, because we were, you couldn't put anything between us, and everyone was going to have the draft plus the hybrid. So it was going to be a crapshoot. That was for sure.
Absolutely. Well, I tell you what, my man, I'm going to turn you over to the much more capable hands of Ryan Eric King. Rec, what do you have for Craig tonight?
You pretty much explained, your view of how the end was going to play out, but during the race, these hybrid systems are still relatively new. How were you managing it, especially because you weren't as aggressive as the guys around you out on track?
Oh no, yeah. I basically was ignoring it most of the race. I'd use it occasionally when I needed to get enough ahead that I could slot back into a spot. That's when the hybrid came in really handy, is if you needed that extra little boost, just because there was a gap, a gap in the lane above you, but you weren't quite there yet. That type of stuff. That's all I was using it for. Other than that, with the pack race and how strong the draft was, you could see the guys at the front, very aggressively using. I think with the Kyle and I think it was Lith, we're doing swaps and stuff. You could see when the hybrid was on, because you could the blast of speed was even from 6 or 7 places back. You could see it happening. So yeah, overall I just saved it and recharged it anytime I had used it. It's in a draft race. It's really not hard to recharge. You just basically sit behind someone, and even using the manual recharge, the draft is strong enough that you still get sucked up to the guy in front of you. So it was good. I got really lucky watching in review. I lost my front wing in, I think, the second caution. And in watching the review, I did not realize we were under caution when I hit whoever was in front of me. I think it was Brandon. I think it was the guys got into a wreck behind me, and a caution came out. We went the whole way down that straight without the pack at that point slowing down, and then they started, of course, checking up, and I flat out did not see the caution that happened. So I got really lucky that I did not just plow through everyone there,
like I did the other day with you, right?
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
It happens. We're not pros.
Well, speak for yourself. You are. I'm not.
No.
So
I'm seasoned.
I like that. We're seasoned. I do want to. One of the smart alecks in the Rogue Racing Discord pointed out, Craig, that you and our birthdays are now closer to the start of World War II than they are today. So remind me.
No.
So
don't let the young don't yet those young guys get away with that stuff.
Well, I might be old, but I can still be pretty fast sometimes, right? And you are too. You showed the young pups what you can do tonight. With that, I don't want to keep you all night because I know you've got stuff to do, family, and I'm sure there's a nice glass of bourbon waiting. Friends, family, sponsor shout outs. The floor is yours.
No, I got to thank Jim over at 4D Racewear for sponsoring the car, the team.
He's
also sponsor for the series as well and the broadcast. So I mean, he does sponsorships for multiple leagues, multiple broadcasts. He is a great guy for the iRacing community, for the IndyCar community. Everyone loves him. So go buy your 4D Racewear gloves and your 4D Racewear shoes. They are tried, tested, and race winning equipment. And I got to thank, Matt for putting on the league. This is I'm only going to be able to do a couple races this season, so it's good to come out of the gate and immediately steal some points from the guys that are going to be going to be in it to try and win the championship. That's what my job is here is just to play disturber.
Well, and so those of you who don't know, as soon as the mercury cracks 40 degrees, Craig goes and plays golf 7 days a week. So it's not going to be too much longer. You're gonna trade your steering wheel for a 7-iron, and we won't see you for several months. But
there
Craig,
just needs to be no snow on the ground on a Wednesday, and I'm gone.
man, I tell you what, I looked out today. It was 41 degrees in Mishawaka today. I looked out, and there's still a little bit of snow on the ground. And I was thinking, man, if there was no snow on the ground, it was a little bit drier, I would have and probably played today. But at any rate, Craig, it is a pleasure seeing you as always. Keep going fast and having fun, buddy.
No, thanks, guys. You guys stay safe, and I will see you later.
Will do. That is Craig Forsyth. He is your winner this evening at Michigan for the season opener of the Horizon IndyCar Series Season 3. And Ryan, man, I tell you what, that was kind of what we expected in a way. And it was also very much something we didn't expect. I did not expect to see Clindy tangle with what more or less amounts to a corporate teammate there at the end. I'll tell you what I did expect. I did expect Craig Forsyth to figure out a way to stand on the podium and win the race.
Yeah, it's definitely shaping up to be a chaotic conclusion. However, the conclusion came a bit earlier than we expected.
It most certainly did. Do want to let everybody know that the Horizon IndyCar Series is more or less an every other week proposition. So we are off on the 14th. The 21st of January we'll be at Iowa, and it sort of follows that pattern. In February we go to Portland and then Kentucky. We'll finish off the month of February at the Big Egg in Motegi. March sees us go to Pocono and Mossport, and that'll be fun. Followed by 2 races in April at Chicagoland and Homestead. We'll finish off the month of April at Auto Club, and then in May it's Texas, and we'll finish the season with the Indianapolis 312 on May the 20th. For Ryan Eric King, I am Mark Murphy, our founder Gary Godso. Do want to thank everybody for tuning in. Big time crowd tonight, Ryan, for this race. Want to thank all the fans, especially for putting up with us. Want to thank the drivers and want to thank the drivers and the teams for their talents in putting on a tremendous show. Also want to thank all the people who really make it possible. The policemen, the firemen, the military, the EMTs that drive the ambulance, and Ryan, the nurse that unloads you when you get to the hospital. From the bottom of our hearts, we thank you all. Thank you so much, and we will see you at the next one.